Along a slow and clear river, nestled in a quiet village, lived an old farmer named Thomas and his wife, Grace. Their cottage was simple, with a straw roof and a small garden out back where chickens pecked in the yard. Every morning, for as long as they could remember, they would walk to the river with a wooden bucket to fetch water. Thomas was once a strong, quick man, but now time had softened him. His hands trembled just a little, and his knees ached as he walked up the hill from the river. Grace, with her soft, cloud-like gray hair, moved slowly, but her eyes were as cool and bright as ever. One scorching hot day, Thomas discovered a large gourd growing in their garden. It was surprisingly light, with a smooth, cool surface. He carefully cut it from the vine, cleaned it out, and left it to dry in the sun. Then, he tied a sturdy cord around its narrow neck. "Look, Grace," he said, his voice full of pride. "A fine gourd bottle." Grace smiled warmly. "It is lovely, Thomas." That afternoon, he carried his new creation down to the river. He gently placed it on the water's surface, and to his delight, it bobbed up and down, dancing on the gentle currents. Thomas laughed, a sound as free and happy as a child's. "Grace, see how it dances," he called out. Grace clapped her hands softly. "Today the river is kind," she said with a smile. But as Thomas reached to retrieve the gourd, a curious thought popped into his head. "I wonder," he mused aloud, "if I could hold it under the water?" Grace looked at him, puzzled. "Why would you do that?" she asked. "No reason," he replied, a stubborn glint in his eye. "Just to see if I can." He leaned over and pushed the gourd beneath the surface. But the moment he let go, it shot back up, bobbing defiantly. He tried again, this time with both hands, putting more force into it. The gourd resisted, twisting and turning in his grasp as if it had a will of its own. Grace let out a soft chuckle. "It wants the open air," she observed. "It's just a gourd," Thomas grumbled, a hint of frustration creeping into his voice. A knot of pride tightened in his chest. "I'll keep it down this time," he declared. He took a deep breath, plunged the gourd into the water, and pushed with all his might. For a second, it seemed to work, but then it burst free, leaping higher out of the water than ever before and splashing his shirt. Grace shook her head, her smile patient and knowing. "Its nature is to float, Thomas," he frowned. "Its nature can learn," he retorted. Determined, Thomas found a flat, heavy stone and tied it to the gourd's cord. "Now it will stay," he said, confident. He lowered the contraption into the river. For a brief moment, the gourd stayed submerged, motionless. But then, the weight of the stone was too much for the knot. The cord came undone, the stone sank to the riverbed, and the gourd triumphantly rose to the surface once more. Thomas's face flushed with anger and embarrassment. "Why can't I just," he started, then stopped. Why can't he just what? He wasn't even sure what he was fighting against. In that moment, he wanted to control the gourd, the river, time itself, and even the quiet fears that lived in his heart. He didn't say these things, but he felt them churning inside him. Grace watched him, her expression full of kindness. She stepped closer and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Thomas, look at the water," she said softly. "You are struggling against something that is not your rival." Her words hung in the air. Thomas stared into the clear, flowing river, seeing his own strained reflection. "Let it go," Grace whispered. And as he heard her words, something inside him shifted. He slowly relaxed his grip, and the gourd, finally free, danced away on the water. A laugh escaped Grace, and soon Thomas was laughing with her, the tension melting away. They sat together on the riverbank, watching the little gourd spin and float on the waves. After a while, Grace spoke. She reminded him of how they used to worry so much about their son when he was young, trying to force away their fears, to push them down. But just like the gourd, the fears always came back up. She told him how she had learned to simply let the fear be, to let it pass through her. And in letting it go, she found peace. Listening to her, Thomas felt a weight lift from his own heart. He felt lighter, calmer than he had in a long time. From that day forward, whenever a worry or a fear surfaced in his mind, he would picture the little gourd on the river. He would imagine letting it go, letting it float away on the current instead of trying to force it under. People in the village noticed the change in him. He smiled more, his laughter was more frequent, and a sense of peace settled around him like a warm blanket. His simple lesson, learned from a stubborn gourd, was to let things be. The world kept turning. The river kept flowing, and he and Grace grew older, their hearts filled with a quiet, profound peace. It's a simple truth, isn't it? It is so much easier to let go than it is to hold things down. A clear mind doesn't fight the river, it flows with it. Our worries only have power when we hold on to them. When we let them go, we find our own freedom. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more.